Okay. Hey there, y'all. It's Renee here. And you can probably already guess what I'm going to show you because you can see it right here. You guys know I told you several times, or I've talked about it several times in my other videos, that I was wanting to get a second machine so that I could sew the tight zigzag stitch to kind of neaten up my projects and, you know, make them look nice and finished. I'm just not a big fan of sergers, and I had one years ago, tried to use it, and I was really horrible at it. The threading of it and all that stuff was just difficult for me. I could probably try it now and do it a little better because I've improved on my sewing a lot over the years, but I just like a sewing machine better. I don't know, I won't say never, because you know what happens when you say you'll never do something. You wind up doing it, and then you gotta eat a little bit of humble pie. But maybe someday I'll get into using a serger. But anyway, to get to my point, my real mom and her husband, I guess you call it, they, you know, not married legally, but they've lived together for a long time. Anyway, they run an auction, and we don't go very often just because I'm always broke. But yesterday, Friday morning, the kids and I had to go get Julio early from school. He wasn't feeling good. Maybe just had a little bit of schoolitis. But anyway, I said, well, it's bill paying day, and I've got some plans, so you go with us. And, you know, I'm going to my mom's to see if she's got... he has all kinds of things at his little auction, and I actually was going there looking for a couple of chairs for my living room because, yeah, I'm making a short story long, you guys. But anyway, you know, we found the chairs we were looking for, and then we were standing inside the auction building talking to Mom, and this was sitting there, and I didn't even pay any attention at first, and I looked over at it, and I just kind of froze for a minute, and I said, does that work? And my mom said, yeah, you can try it out if you want to. And I thought, oh man. So I plugged it up and I turned it on, and I just kind of let it run for a minute, held my foot down and my hand down on the pedal on the table there. And I was like, wow, it runs really nice. You know, I wasn't sure if everything would thread up right and if it would actually run when I got it home, because there was no thread in the top. But, you know, I asked her boyfriend, Woody, I said, what will you take for that machine? It's like $30. And I said, yes, I will take it. He said if it didn't work, I could bring it back. You know, he guaranteed anything like this that he sells. So I brought it home, and it actually came with its little package of stuff here. It's got all little presser feet, bobbins, and I'm not even sure what this plate is for that's in here, but I could probably look in the book and find out. It has the book with it. It was actually in a case, but I took it out and put it here next to my Viking that's on my sewing table, and so, you know, because I'm going to use it. But as in messing around with the machine and kind of trying to get to know it, it's really a finicky machine when it comes to threading. If you have the least little thing threaded wrong, which, you know, is obvious probably with any machine, but some machines you can thread them up a little awkward, and I have had them sew right, even though, you know, it doesn't last sewing right like that. This has a lot of places the thread has to go. So I'm sitting here threading it up thinking, oh, I know what I'm doing. I've threaded a million sewing machines, and it wasn't sewing right. And I said, it's got to be. It's simple. Because the machine is, I'm not even sure of the age of it, but it looks like it's never been used. It is just so clean. There's no thread or dust or anything down inside the bobbin here. Come on, guys and gals. You know, if you sew all the time, your machine is not going to look brand new. I mean, it needs to look lived in, but I'm pretty sure this one was hardly ever used. So anyway, I get the book out, the manual out, and I made sure I had it threaded right, and it sews great. It's awesome. I mean, it runs great, and it's not, you know, it doesn't have like a whole bunch of features. It's a Kenmore 12 stitch. It's all metal construction. This whole thing is metal. Yeah, I think this piece might be, it's plastic, but I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, you guys know how it is if you like to sew and craft and do things like that. When you find something that's beautiful, a machine like this, you just are crazy over it. But it's just, I look at it and I go, yeah, I have 2 sewing machines again. But anyway, I'll be doing my tight zigzags now because I've tested that out, and it's a little, there may be a problem with it. I'm not real sure because I ran it through a lot of testing. I got a piece of fabric and just sewed all over it and tried different stitches, different stitch lengths and all that. And a couple of times on the longer stitch lengths it looked like it skipped a stitch. So if any of you veteran seamstresses or seamsters or tailors or whatever you call yourself, maybe have some advice for me on why it would do that. It doesn't do it very often. It did it a couple of times. And I just kind of adjusted it. I switched needles. It had a brand new pack of needles with it. And I think it had a needle for stretch knit. And I took it out and put just a standard, what do you call that? Needle that you can use for any kind of fabric. And it did a little better. It did a lot better, actually. It didn't skip as much. But it's just like every now and then it wants to skip a stitch. And I played around with the tension on it. And I noticed that this is just, it's like a finicky machine. It needs to be set a certain way or else it's not going to sew exactly right. But, you know, when you have everything set perfectly, I mean, it sews perfect. It just, to me, it just looks like a machine that was never used. I mean, this plate right here, plastic plate on the front, is so shiny and clean, and it's just, yeah, nice looking machine. And this little pack of stuff that came with it. You know, I imagine that a lot of people probably buy a sewing machine thinking, I can sew, I can do this, and then they get it home and they think, I give up, I can't do it. And they end up with a machine that they've had sitting around for 20, 30, 40 years, and it's like new. So, and it even had, Daisy even said when I turned it on and started testing it out that it smelled funny. And I said, it's a new smell. I remember that smell from when I would buy a brand new sewing machine and it had that freshly oiled, just new parts moving smell to it. So not a bad, you know, smell. It's not burning or anything, but yeah. So anyway, and I did oil it because I didn't know if it had been oiled recently or anything. So I oiled it up and make sure that everything is as it should be. But anyway, yes, this is my new machine. You'll see it in some of my videos sometimes, I guess. I love my Viking because it does so many things, but now I actually can do that tight zigzag stitch. And you know, for smaller projects I would probably use this one sometimes too. But anyway, yeah, I dragged that out for a long time, didn't I? I was going to show you how the machine works, but I won't do that because I took so long with this video. But anyway, that's it, y'all. Peace. Bye-bye.